I'm Kristiina from Let's Do It Foundation, and I'm leading the SUSTAXO team, and we are part of Accelerate Estonia program. We aim to bring the competitive advantage to small and medium enterprises, first in Estonia and then European-wide. And like the idea was introduced, yes, we aim to make most of the calculations automatically and make it accessible for the small and medium enterprises. So we would like to make the sustainability reporting part of the business processes and give out the validated compliance reports. But what reports, why and when? We have a nice goal. By 2050, Estonia will have a competitive low carbon economy. This is our goal. But what it takes to get there and how we can know what are the actions that paves the way towards this goal. We started beginning of last year with setting the base by identifying environmental metrics concept that could measure wider impact, not only CO2 emissions. We took part last year's first Accelerate Estonia program. We worked closely with scientists, with private and public sector representatives, and we came up with these components. We built the concepts, and then we needed to find what will be the connection with the EU-wide approach. And what we found on the same year, the European-wide approach entered into force in the EU Sustainable Finance Taxonomy. And it will affect big and financial companies already beginning of next year, 2020. But it's so important to mention that through the finance sector, it also affects small and medium enterprises. But what's the taxonomy? It's a classification system that it gives a list of environmentally sustainable activities, and the 6 objectives are climate change mitigation, climate change adaptation, the sustainable use of water and marine resources, circular economy, pollution prevention, and healthy ecosystems, biodiversity. So we need to connect this framework with smart tools, and then we can scale up the sustainable investment and actually take into action the European Green Deal. But currently, for SMEs, small and medium enterprises, all the calculations and assessment process is not affordable. But they are crucial players in this game. For them, it will be advantage if they could measure their environmental impact and provide it to their partners, clients, banks, and investors. So without smart reporting, SMEs are not most probably eligible for green funds and will lose the markets. The core idea behind the taxonomy is that all the claims being green and environmentally friendly must be backed with data. And so we have come up with an idea, and we work with private and public sector to speed up an idea to build a solution for businesses to measure their compliance with EU sustainable finance taxonomy, and also being able to assess their environmental impact. First, we have to make it clear what are environmental sustainability. What are the first steps that the company should take towards the goal that all the activities are aligned with sustainable finance taxonomy. And we keep in mind the real-time economy principle, and we would like to bring the data together with the least administrative workload, because the green turn has to create the competitive advantage for companies instead of obstacles. And the end solution can be a data exchange tool, which allows to query relevant data from state and from the private sector databases, solutions, so smart connections, so the data could flow and we can see the reports and results, not 6 months behind the after the fiscal year ends, but rather when we need it. In the solution discovery phase, the core team of 4 members and members from the Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Finances, and Ministry of Economic Affairs and Communications, and also from public sector side, Port of Tallinn, SEB Bank, Swedbank, LHV, and Luminor banks. We have worked together to define the most reasonable building blocks. And based on that, we have put together the scope of pilot. And in the pilot, which will start in January, we will focus for SMEs. And as I said, we will start with explaining the benefits of being able to measure environmental impact at the company level. And also, we will do the data mapping so we can end up with a smart solution that can actually assess the alignment with the European Sustainable Finance Taxonomy. And it's crucial to make it accessible for SMEs because they are the important stakeholders. So we can start actually walk the road towards the competitive low carbon economy. So my time is up for now, but I'm happy to get your questions and ideas. So please feel free to connect with me. Thank you.